Hello, hello, hello from La Girouette on a beautiful September morning where it's very foggy and a bit damp. And what's happening this Sunday, Owen?
We are getting non-married. That's our expression, anyhow. Yes, we're having a Celtic hand fasting ceremony where we're going to honour our relationship.
Tie the knot.
Tie the knot. It's about freedom as well as everything else. So yeah, we're planning a fête, as I say here in France. People arriving from Ireland and Scotland, England and locals as well, and family, friends. And we've realised, looking at the weather forecasts, it may rain. There may even be thunder and lightning. And we had planned, of course, a beautiful sunny day.
Out here in the garden, I've made 150 paper flowers to hang from the trees, candles for the evening.
We've bought
Disco.
solar spots, put them up on the walls. Like everything is planned for a gorgeous, great sunny day.
Everybody's going to be sitting up here on picnic blankets, having picnics, and we're going to have our ceremony down here. And yeah, it's going to be gorgeous.
It's going to be lovely.
And the weather forecast is going, it might not be. And we kind of realised yesterday that, you know, there's this kind of fine line between positive thinking and holding a vision for something, and being slightly delusional.
well, let's put it a different way. And surrendering to whatever's going to manifest, whatever's going to happen. Obviously, you know, if you have control issues, it's difficult with the weather, isn't it? So we can't control the weather. So we've kind of gone to plan B, which hasn't worked out. Then we went to plan C. Jenny went out this morning. Plan C didn't work out either. Then she tried plan D. So now we're down to plan E.
Plan 0.
Which doesn't exist. So we're not quite sure what to do. So we're kind of breathing into and living with the uncertainty of not knowing exactly what's going to happen.
And having 45, 50 people here. And I mean, our house isn't big enough for us just to move indoors, really.
No, it's not.
So yeah, we've kind of explored lots of different options, and I suppose part of the reason for making the video about it was that I am a little bit stressed about it, I have to say. You know, when my mind goes to the thought of, I think it's more, I'm not sure it's as much stress as disappointment. And I'm already feeling disappointed about something which hasn't happened, which is interesting. Owen is the master of the now, and being here now and presence and all the rest of it. I'm the planner. I do a lot of planning in my mind. So yeah, it's just one thing that I can't control. So I'm having to really work on acceptance and surrender.
Yeah, you know the old saying, how do you make God laugh? Tell him your plans. Tell her your plans. I know. There is no God. Who knows? Anyway. Yeah, I think for me it's more about, yes, when my mind kind of gets involved, for sure, I can feel all kinds of things. But being honest, I don't feel any disappointment. I think that's a bit insane, to be honest.
I have my moments.
No disappointment. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day, whatever the weather.
Yeah, I just can't quite conceive of whatever the weather, if it is thunder and lightning, which it does do quite regularly here.
But what happens with people in general, and the kind of people that we're inviting, is, you know, we're all proactive in different ways, and so things will happen maybe that we didn't anticipate, and that could make the day even more precious, and people have all kinds of memories, you know, of getting soaked to the skin or whatever. But it'll be gorgeous, Jenny. It really will. I'm trying to reassure her here.
Anyway, we've got the camping car. I'm sure we can fit 50 people in the motorhome, can't we?
5 maybe? 5 at a time. We could have 10 ceremonies.
But top tip for staying here now when faced with uncertainty. I'm really trying to practice I just ground myself. So what I mean by that is literally just feeling my feet on the floor. I'm wiggling my toes quite a lot. I'm breathing into it and reminding myself that right here, right now, everything is fine. Right here, right now, everything is fine. And that just helps me come back to the present moment. What's your top tip for grounding yourself in the now? Because you're very good at it.
I don't have a top tip, but I've realised that for me, it's quite easy in a way not to listen to my mind, which wants to get involved in everything. For me, it's quite easy to stay here. But I think the greatest image that I've ever come across, for people who are visual, this is great. A great teacher called Osho at one point said, listen, he said, just take a sword, cut your head off, put your head underneath your arm. Put the camera down, Jenny. Put your head in here, underneath your arm, and every now and then you can refer to it when you need to. Because it wants to have its little narrative, it wants to have its little bit of drama, and let it do that, but now it's not there anymore, so you're not connected to it. And so you're living here, you're living in the heart, you're living in the body. For me, there are much wiser places to live. Now, the mind can be great for planning, and plan F or G or whatever it turns out to be, might be good to have some backup. I'm not saying don't do that, but then we kind of got to let it go. So maybe cutting the head off might work for you.
And I suppose the other thing, just before we finish up, is as you're talking, I'm realising that if my mind gets stressed, trying to think it all through and trying to figure it all out and what might happen, I'm actually blocking myself from inspiration.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm blocking myself from being receptive to different ideas or different suggestions that might come from people around me, or just ideas that might pop into my head. So I know from experience that keeping my mind clear, keeping my mind quiet is actually when I'm at my most receptive to whatever needs to be experienced. So that's what I'm going to work on today. See, this is a living spiritual workshop. Planning a party, planning a non-wedding.
A non-wedding, a 110th birthday party, and a housewarming.
And a housewarming or a house wetting, depending on the weather.
A house wetting. That's a new phrase.
So anyway, follow us and subscribe to our channel, and we'll give you an update as the week goes on, maybe. And maybe put up a little bit of the video from the day as well. So thank you. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye.